Whether I'm watching a Jesus video of him unboxing skins, every single time I tune into an OhnePixel stream, every time I go back to watching a McSkillet video on YouTube, or even when I'm just mindlessly scrolling Twitter, one thing is for sure is that every CSGO skin enjoyer inspects their skin on CS Siege. And obviously I had one question in mind, which is, why is CS Siege the go-to map for inspecting CSGO skins? Unfortunately, when I wrote my question into Google wasn't really that helpful. It just gave me a bunch of results for Rainbow Six Siege. And as surprising as it is, I didn't see anyone else asking that type of question in the CSGO subreddit. Which means that I had to take matters into my own hands, and at first the map isn't really in a beautiful setting. The map is set in an old warehouse in the middle of the jungle with an overcast skybox. Just by looking around, you can see that it's old, it's dirty, it's unkept, and it just makes me think that I'm on the set of Tropical Thunder with the drug warehouse. And I don't know about you, but whenever I think about a good map to showcase skins, I just think about a bright, sunny skybox like Santorini, or a map with a nice, bright, modern aesthetic like Nuke or Season. And also, why is it called CS Siege? Well, for that, we kind of have to go back to Counter-Strike's inception. CS Siege comes from the original Counter-Strike game officially released in November 14th, 2000, to which I'm pretty sure you know it by now, but it used to be a Half-Life mod co-created by Ming Lee and Jess Cliff. And the Siege map was introduced into the game on Beta 1.0 on June 19th, 1999. And it was developed by Nothing, aka Justin DeYoung. Not to be confused with Nothing, the Cloud9 major winning, flashbang dancing guy, but instead Nothing with an I, which is turned into an 1, and who unfortunately took his own life when he was only 18 on December 7th of 2000. And when I used the Wayback Machine, I was able to find an old interview on Clanfire, which used to be an old message board in the late 90s and early 2000s. Where in the interview, he says that Jess Cliff approached him in 1999 to create maps, just because Justin started level designing for Quake in early 1996. And if we boot up the map today on CS 1.6, we can see that it's a hostage map in an industrial compound set in the middle of the desert. And then on the 7th of February 2013, CS Siege gets posted on the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Workshop. In fact, it was such a beautiful homage to an old staple 1.6 map that Valve even put it into their Operation Bravo update on September 19th, 2013. And so I reached out to Marc Bidoul, one of the two co-creators who reimagined the map for Global Offensive. And I wrote him an email with a bunch of questions that I wanted him to answer, and I waited, and just as I was about to abandon this video project, and all hope was lost, I finally got an answer. Oh, trust me, it was worth the wait because both of them answered the email at the same time. When I asked how and when they both got into mapping, Marc told me that after Half-Life was released in '98, he played a lot of LAN parties for the Counter-Strike mod, and he even sent me a picture of old maps he used to work on. And as for Valentin, he says that he got into mapping while CS 1.6, and he discovered mapping tools in the Half-Life Generation CD to make maps offline. When I asked Marc when he originally released CS Siege, I was a bit surprised by his answer because I thought it was through, the workshop, but he actually says that he had started with Counter-Strike Source with over 20,000 downloads for both of the versions of the maps that he made. And then when Global Offensive came out, they teamed up and remade it. When I asked him if he's aware about how CS Siege is important in the CSGO skin community, he said that he's not aware of it at all, which is actually kind of crazy to think about because the map was created in February of 2013, and the Arms deal update that introduced skins into the game came out in August of 2013. When I asked him if he was surprised when Valve chose his map for Operation Bravo, he said yes, but then he kind of downplayed their amazing achievement by saying that back in 2013 there weren't as many maps to choose from as the 2023 workshop that we all know and love today. When I asked him if he could change something about CS Siege, he told me that he would either change the map size or make it more simple and add more custom meshes to have something a little bit more homogeneous in the map. And then finally, I kind of wanted to know a little bit more about their personal life, so I asked them what they do after work nowadays in 2023, and Marc says that he's busy with his children, and Valentin said that he plays Hunt Showdown in Elden Ring. Look, just before we move on with the video, I just want to thank both of them for answering my questions, just because I know that they live very busy lives, and they're both senior level artists, you know, so I don't know, thank you very much for answering my questions. Now, despite all the research I've done, I still don't have an answer for my original question, which is why is CS Siege the go-to map for inspecting CSGO skins? So I went on Twitter and I asked OhnePixel's favorite moderator, Budi, and he told me that CS Siege's lighting is amazing and it's the best map for inspecting blue gems. And then I went over and I messaged OhnePixel's right-hand man, Mr. Xerpas, and he told me that the lighting is good, and he even brought up another good point about the golden watches. Counter-Strike has always had different factions depending on which map and which side you're playing on, just to help with the immersion. Another well-known terrorist faction in CSGO are the Pirates. Unfortunately, we don't really see that faction that often just because they don't appear in any of the active duty map pools, and Siege is jungle themed, right, near the ocean, and it's the appropriate faction for the map, and also they happen to have a golden watch that enhances any inspect animations. After that, I spoke to OhnePixel's YouTube editor, who is also the person responsible for making me discover Ohne's stream in the first place. Where Epic Donut Dude told me that, again, the lighting is very good, where it's not as saturated as most maps like Mirage or Dust 2. I asked OhnePixel's offline chat, and I kind of got the same answer, that the map is really good for its lighting. Last but not least, I wanted to hear from the actual content creators in the skins community, and Jesus said this.
If you want to send me stuff to look at, exclamation mark trade link, and you send me trade links to review your stuff, right up on CSGO Siege, it's good lighting.
After that, I went over to Arrow's stream and I asked him the same question.
Why do people inspect their skins on CS Siege? Is it for lighting? Yeah, mostly. Wait, this dude has the parasocial emote badge. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Shall we? Shall we?
And there you have it. After multiple hours of research and talking to the right people, we finally uncovered the answer to one of the biggest mysteries in CSGO. And we now understand why CS Siege is the go-to map for inspecting skins.